Oh, I'm very pleased to be joined with Dr. Davia Shepherd today, who is part of our collaboration called The Great Pause, Blessings and Wisdom for COVID-19. Thank you so much for joining us, Davia.
Thanks, Elizabeth, for having me. I'm so honored to be included in this project. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And will you tell us a little bit about you, about where you come from, where you live, your family, really anything that you'd like to share?
So, once upon a time, there was a little girl who was born. No, we won't go back that far.
Oh, we can go there.
We could go there, but we won't. So, I live in Connecticut. I am a holistic physician. I didn't necessarily start out that way, but certainly that's where I've ended up. And that's what I spend my daytime doing is treating with patients who have headaches, neck pain, and back pain. But at night, I'm a superhero. No.
You are.
I
That's
also, in
right.
addition to doing that, I have a free women's group that I coordinate. And basically, that is like where my love and my passion goes. So between taking care of my family. I'm a wife, I'm a mom of two boys. One is 5, one is 10. Between taking care of them, my patients, and the women who are part of my women's group, I feel like I'm living this really, really happy and fulfilled life.
Mm, that's so lovely. And with with the COVID-19 time, this great pause we've been given, what was your experience of that time like for you?
Well, it affected a lot of people in a lot of different ways. For one thing, we we had personal family loss as a
Mhm.
result of all of this. I lost our my father-in-law
Mm,
as a result of COVID-19. My manager, who is aside from my family, probably the other person who is the closest to me, she lost her mother
mm,
during this time as well. We had patients who were diagnosed.
mhm.
It was not, I am saying this because I want your viewer to know that when I talk about finding the silver lining, I'm not speaking from a place of trying to suggest putting a happy face sticker on a bad situation. For every single number that you've seen on the news as far as loss is concerned, it's a person. It's not just a number that's out there. And I really want to be very aware of that and to acknowledge that and to let your viewer know that we also had our own opportunity to deal with all of this. And yet, in spite of all of this, I am saying to you and I'm saying to everyone that at our darkest, deepest, darkest moments is when I have found that I have had the greatest transformations. For me, those have been the times when I've learned the most. Those have been the times when I have grown the most. And those have been the times that have really changed me and shaped me into the person that I am today to be in a position to be in service of the greater good. And so um, I love that you're doing this project. And when you mentioned that you were doing it, I offered to be a part of it because I really believe that there's something that we have to learn from all of this. There's something that this is something that we're all going through together. And this is an opportunity, if you will, for us to all actually recognize that we're not these separate beings, that we have this mental construct of being, but that we're all connected and that we're all in this together.
Absolutely. And I know that when I had people to had people write their chapters. I encouraged them to really share what they were going through, their personal experiences, because we're not talking about like dancing on top of bad situations, or like you say, putting a happy sticker on a bad situation, but of actually allowing yourself to really be with it and experience it. That's where the transformation really can come from and come through. And I know that you embody that in the chapter and in the work that you do and in who you are always.
Yes, I'm leaning into really trying to practice more in my life the things that I talk about with patients and that I teach about when I do workshops and that sort of thing, trying to really embody that inner peace, that inner calm, that inner happiness, so that no matter what's going on in life, no matter what life is throwing at us, no matter what you're seeing on the news, no matter what's happening in our families, no matter what sort of loss we are experiencing, that we can actually still, even in those darker moments, feel that inner peace. One of my favorite mentors, Dr. Deepak Chopra, he likes to talk about being able to stand in the middle of a hurricane and still be at peace. And I want to embody that in my life. And certainly I want to be an example of that for the people who are around me. So that's kind of that's kind of where I am, and that's kind of what this whole COVID-19 situation has really brought to the fore.
Yeah. And I know that myself, when I participate, that's how I met you, is through the Ladies Power Lunch. And I've benefited so much from being part of that group. It's like another family to me. I've met such wonderful people. And in my professional life and my personal life, it's really been such a beacon of light through crazy times, right? So can you talk a little bit and share a little bit more about that group and what inspired you to do it? And it's been 7 years you've been doing
It's
this? I
been
just read
seven
that recently.
years.
That's amazing.
It's been 7 years. Oh my goodness. Elizabeth, I have to tell you, truly, I didn't set out to organize the women's group. That was never on my agenda at all. I seem to, things seem to find me. It's not necessarily me necessarily finding them. For example, when I started my journey in my professional life, I never had any desire to see any patients. That was not on my agenda at all. I wanted to be a researcher, and I worked for Big Pharma for many, many years. And then patient care called me, and I had to answer that call. So here I am. Well, it's the same way with Ladies Power Lunch. A group of us, six of us actually, 7 years ago, on the third Monday of some month of the year, I don't even remember what month it was, we had been trying to get together. We were friends, but we all had businesses or were in corporate positions that required a lot of us, or um, some of us had families, some of us had older parents that we were taking care of. And so everybody was quote unquote busy, and we couldn't seem to get those schedules to line up. But we did. We got this one day, and it was the third Monday of the month, and it was 12:30, and we got together on a Ruby Tuesday on Route 6 in Bristol, Connecticut. Won't ever forget that day. And it was great. Everybody left that lunch just so uplifted. If somebody had a question about something to do with their business, there was somebody in the group who could provide an answer. If somebody had a concern about some family related thing or something to do with their parents or something like that, somebody had the answer. If somebody needed something, there was somebody to point them in the right direction. And it was just fun and engaging, and it was so great to see everybody. And at the end of it, nobody wanted to leave, and everybody was saying like, oh, we should do this again, this is so great. And so I said, well, let's do this, let's put it on the calendar, third Monday every month. If you can make it, great. If you can't make it, no problem. And always, always bring a friend. And what started out as six women in a Ruby Tuesday having lunch and supporting each other because that's what women who are friends do, it turned into our group is now probably about 1,200 women and growing every day. And on Facebook, active members, probably about somewhere between 400 and 500 women. As far as our extended reach goes, we're talking probably about 50,000 women. And so it just goes to show that when the desire is there, when women want to do something, when women want to come together, when they want to support each other, they're going to make it happen. And it also speaks to the fact that there is no such thing as competition.
Mhm.
There's only support. And when we collaborate and when we come together and when we do things together, 1 plus 1 is always greater than 2.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so when you suggested this collaborative book project, you were saying my keywords right there. You know, like Google will ping on your keywords. I was pinging on your keywords. You said collaboration, and I was like, yes, I'm absolutely in. I am about that. And we only have one rule in Ladies Power Lunch. I'm not a big rules kind of girl, but we do have one rule, and that's just support each other. So if what we're doing is in support of the group, the other members, then it's absolutely welcome. And we welcome everybody. It's free. It's more of a movement than a group, really, is what it's become. And I'm just all about growing it more and making sure that women always know that they have a place that they can come to be supported.
Thank you for sharing that story because it seems like such a wonderful example of when you follow the things that you desire that feel right, that you're looking at staying in this like vibration that feels right for you, that this just comes together with ease and flow, right?
Ease
And that's
and
how this
flow.
yeah, with flow, like the collaboration, there's been a lot of projects and things I've worked on that I've made happen and like kind of that type of energy. But this is not that. This is like ease, grace, flow, just happening and just pure fun and pleasure to put together.
Yes,
So thank you for being
absolutely.
part of that.
Absolutely. I'm having a little feedback here, so I'm just trying
Okay.
to adjust my mic. So, um, it's interesting that you're talking about this ease and flow because this is really the direction that I want to take my life. And this is the direction that when I talk to patients and clients, that I encourage them to take their lives in that direction as well, because the beauty and the juiciness of living that way, there's no way that I can explain it to you. You kind of have to live it and see it for yourself. I posted in our ladies lunch group today a card that I pulled, and it was from one of the Esther Hicks decks, and it's just a thought for the day, but it's talking about trying to control what's going on around you. And guess what? If I was trying to control and trying to build a women's group, I don't think it would ever be anything like it is right now. If I had been trying to control and push myself into being a patient care doctor and to be in private practice, my book is full. But I don't think it would have happened that way if I was really pushing and pushing against it. In my meditation this morning, the meditation prompt was about the tree of giving and
Mm.
how when it is ready, it bends to deliver its abundance. And I thought that was just such a beautiful metaphor for how life delivers to you. You could go ahead and climb the tree before it's ready and probably fall and break some parts of you in the process and probably eventually get it, or you could just wait and let the tree bend to you and deliver its fruits to you. Another metaphor that came to mind for me today was also the idea of going within for your answers as opposed to trying to get them here, there, and everywhere.
Mm.
and using the metaphor of driving a car and how easy it is to just jump in your car, put your key in the ignition, and drive, as opposed to pushing the car.
We can make it go.
You could probably get it to move, right? But it wouldn't move very far, and it definitely wouldn't go very fast. And you really wouldn't, you'd feel like you're doing a lot,
Mm.
but would you really be? And so I'm all of these ideas just keep popping into my mind and just keep reminding me to be more detached about things and to just let it flow to me. And I find when I do that, I end up living this magical existence that is so rich and so beautiful. And there's just no way to recreate that with pushing against things.
That metaphor is so, that lands so well with me because often we feel like we're doing something, so we just keep doing it. We just keep doing it. We push. We're like, this is going to go somewhere, and there's other. It doesn't have to be the way that we do things.
It doesn't have to be so hard. It really doesn't.
Oh, oh. Well, Dr. Davia, thank you so much for taking the time and talking today and sharing all of this. What's the best way that people can get in touch with you or learn more about you or your work?
Well, I invite anybody because I love to have conversation. So I've actually built time into every single day, every single week to just have conversations with people who are like-minded, who want to talk about the things that I want to talk about, like supporting each other and detachment and doing things together and collaboration. Those are my keywords. And so going to my scheduler, which is chatwithdrdavia.com, which is pretty much what we want to do, chat with Dr. Davia. So chatwithdrdavia.com, that's the easiest way to have a conversation with me. I would love that. And then, of course, for people who have an interest in being part of our women's group, Ladies Power Lunch, I invite you to take a walk over to our website, ladiespowerlunch.com. And that's ladies with an S, ladiespowerlunch.com, and see if it's right for you, if it's something that you might have an interest in being a part of.
Thank you so much, Davia. Take care.